You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. First timer on Ron Siegel Radio, Shaun Radcliffe. Radcliffe & Associates is in the house. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Ron.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. What are we celebrating today? It looks like it's National Almond Day. How do you like those almonds? I'm going to say chocolate covered, please. But then again, anything.
What about almond milk?
Almond milk. Okay. Yeah. Put that in a beverage.
There you go.
Okay. National. There's no chocolate on that picture, Josh. What's the deal here? No chocolate. Chocolate almonds. There's some almonds that they put in some spices. That's good. Not too spicy. I'm not a spicy individual. I don't know what this means, but if I tried to even think about it, it may get me in trouble. Do a grouch day.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about that one too. So I don't think I'm going to even say a word. Let's look at the markets. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 215 points. Welcome to the roller coaster. The S&P 500 is down 24. The NASDAQ down 131 points. Oil's up $2.47 a barrel. Yeah, take a look at that one. Let's take a look at it. I got to do this all the time because I am a bit envious of our tremendous underwriter. Lori's out there in Louisiana in the United States. She's paying $3.24 a gallon of gasoline. $3.24.
$5.19 a gallon for premium this morning.
$5.19.
Yep.
Ooh, that's painful.
Yep.
I'm looking at Arizona. Jody, you're at $3.66 a gallon. Josh, you're getting there. $3.89.5 is what you get. Now you found it. I don't know where you must have gone for gas, but I mean, California, the average here in the formerly Golden State, $4.70 a gallon of gasoline.
Well, that was premium that I got.
Okay. So you got the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I got $4.79 was the premium last week at Costco.
Okay.
So now I know what I get to look forward to when I go to fill up this week.
Yep.
I think I'm going to have to go get an electric vehicle. Oh, wait a second. We don't have electricity in California. So what are we going to do? How are we going to deal with this? I don't understand these things. Nationally, $3.48 a gallon of gasoline. Now, here's the question that I have, and I know that in California we won't do this, but they're talking about a federal moratorium on the federal gas taxes. Now, I know we're broke anyway, so what the heck, go in debt a little further. But I think 25% of our price of a gallon of gasoline right here in the formerly Golden State is going to taxes, 25%. So think about that. If they put a moratorium on gas taxes here, that would take our gas prices down to about $3.50 a gallon.
I'll take it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
That would, yeah.
That would be I mean, there might be some people that could actually afford to eat now. I don't know. It's going to be interesting watching what's going on right here in California because we've been seeing now we've got a new player in the race for for mayor in Los Angeles. Rick Caruso's in the game. I don't know. Do you ever seen his boat?
No, but I saw that announcement yesterday.
Yeah. So Rick Caruso's got a boat. I think it's bigger than most hotels.
That would be a yacht then.
I think it's a cruise ship.
Okay.
Because if you look at it, there's only a couple of ports on the West Coast you can bring that to.
Well, he probably has a boat that takes him to the shore. So he,
there's 3 boats on the boat,
wow,
as well as the helicopter.
Wow.
Right. So one of the places that he can actually bring it to is into the harbor in Newport Beach. And they have to have pilot boats to guide him in.
Wow.
Because this thing is so big. And right over there by Lido Island is where they park it. And I've actually been there I was out on a paddleboard one time when he was there. I mean, it's amazing. He might be able to put the whole Grove. He owns the Grove out there in Los Angeles. He could probably put the Grove into his boat. I mean, this is a massive, massive vehicle.
So he's not worried about the gas prices.
He's not worried about gas prices.
Okay.
I don't think he's worried about, but you know something? It's fascinating because he did one of his first ads was he's going to work for $1 a year.
Yeah.
Right. No special interests. Maybe he doesn't want to be ambassador to what were they sending Garcetti off to India? I think maybe that's a good place for him. I think they don't have masks in India,
but he can hold his breath.
He can hold his breath a long time.
Right. Long time.
Right.
He's like a diver.
Yeah. Well, you know something? I'm just going to throw this out there. So my comment is the first, during the NFC Championship game, he used the Bill Clinton line, right? So he did not inhale. He didn't inhale, right? He took his mask off, took a picture, did not inhale. Now, during the Super Bowl, he was having a conversation with people. Now, I don't know how you don't inhale when you're having a conversation.
Some kind of ventriloquist or
it must be.
Yeah.
Something. And he had his mask down around his knee. It wasn't up by his shoulder like he told us it was at the national championship. So it fascinates me how these people think we're that stupid. But I guess maybe there are some people that are not too bright because look at what's going on with gas prices. And we just reconfirmed Governor Newsom, right? I mean, can you figure that one out? This guy campaigns on taxing us more and we keep voting him in. Well, some people do. I only get one vote. Well, I'm only supposed to have one vote. But, the one thing that I did believe from President Obama, I still say this, vote early, vote often, right? But I don't think you're supposed to do that. Let's move right along. Why are the markets why are they so volatile? So here's the issue. Yesterday the markets were up as measured by the Dow Jones up over 400 points. Today we're down 200. I haven't even looked at what the bond market is doing. Well, I did look at it, but the bond market is pretty flat today. Why is all of this happening? Well, here's the issue. It's called a flight to safety and abandoning safety. What does that mean? Well, we've been told right along from the president when he's been awake, he's told us that Russia is going to invade Ukraine. Yesterday, they said they're pulling back. Today, NATO says they're not pulling back. Okay, so when they say they're pulling back, the money moves out of the bond market. It goes into the stock market. Bond prices go up because the money is moving out of there. So the interest rates we're going to get more favorable interest rates. When the money goes into, then today they go the other way around. Okay, now we've got more money flying into the bond market. Well, the bond prices are showing that, and interest rates are going up. So that's kind of what's going on there. Now, this is a fascinating part of the whole story. So the U.S. 10-year Treasury is at 2.043 as I speak to you right now. For the first time in months and months and months, maybe even a couple of years, Germany actually has a positive number next to their 10-year bond. Right? They weren't even giving you their money back when you put your money into the German 10-year. Now they're giving you 0.25%. So we're going to be watching this, and I'm going to tell you in the next segment. Well, maybe I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you in the next segment. We just hit a milestone on mortgages. Just the very first time this has happened in years. Just came out today. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we are going to chat with Shaun Radcliffe. We're going to chat about real estate. We're going to chat about what he does special for his clients, why he's doing a great job for them. We're going to talk about more people are planning to buy a home soon. And what is a credit limit? How is it determined? What credit cards offer the highest limits? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Operators are standing by. Let's see what's going on in the markets this morning. The Dow Jones is now down 217 points. The NASDAQ is down 141 points. The S&P 500 down 25.72. 10-year Treasury, it's flat, 2.04. We hadn't been over 2% on the Treasury for a while, so now we're sticking there. Mortgage-backed securities, the bond itself is up, which means the interest on that one is down just a little bit. Why is all of this happening? That's the question that you came to listen to, because all that information is available on that super secret website, google.com. Mortgage Bankers Association released their mortgage application data for the week ending February 11th, showing that overall application volume decreased by 5.4%. Applications to purchase a home down 1%. Refinances decreased by 9%. That's some interesting information right there in and of itself. And they did come out and they said for the very first time in quite a while, interest rates are over 4% according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Now, you know that we report every Thursday morning what the Freddie Mac tells us the rates are. So it'll be interesting to see where they come out tomorrow morning. But in general, don't forget, you have to pay some points to get their numbers as well. So 4.05, about a little over 1.07% higher than they were this time last year. So, and I'm going to tell you that, unfortunately, about 11 o'clock our time, we've got some news that'll come out. Actually, it's 11 o'clock our time. When we get the Fed minutes, that's usually not good for mortgage rates. So that's going to come out at 11 o'clock today. If you're listening to us this evening on ABC News and Talk AM 1490, it already happened. But we broadcast right here, as you know, if you're listening live, 9 in the morning. So that's the time that we're recording this. Let's see what else is going on in the market. There was one other story that I wanted to get to you. Core retail sales in January were well better than expected, with a 4.8% gain versus the estimate of 1.3%. It was partially offset by an almost 1% downward revision. But here's the issue. If we have a 4.8% gain in retail sales and 7.5% inflation, are retail sales really up?
Agreed. I mean, is
Right.
it more expensive to purchase the same amount, or is there more products being sold? I think it's inflation.
It's just the inflation. That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because we know that the prices are all up 7.5%.
Yep.
So like you said that you paid $5 and change for gasoline.
Right.
And we can look real quick here and see. Now, I know the president told us that there's no inflation. So we have to believe him because he is our president. But let's take a look and see if we go back and see where gasoline prices were 1 year ago today in California, $3.48.
Wow. That seems like a dream.
we would take it, right?
Right.
And but that's not inflation. And you probably don't need gas. And ironically enough, who does this inflation hurt the most?
The consumer.
Well, the consumer, but it's the working class individual.
Absolutely.
Right? Rick Caruso is not being affected by inflation.
No.
Right? If he wants a steak, he's going to go buy a steak, and it's not going to affect his billions of dollars in net worth.
Correct.
Right? But the family that's living paycheck to paycheck, it affects them. They're not buying steak now; they're buying ground meat and dog food. Some of them, right? But that's a whole different story because it's challenging. That's the Mortgage Minute, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Whoa, sorry about that. Didn't mean to wake you up, Josh. Sorry, I just hit the wrong button on the board. So you're out here in North Orange County mostly, right?
Correct.
And you, I should say, Shaun Radcliffe is with us, Radcliffe and Associates. So you're focused in North Orange County, doing great things from what I hear. What is it that you guys specialize? Why is it that you guys are doing so wonderful in the marketplace?
Yeah, so we have a team of 6 of us agents. We have 3 support staff. Really what we focus on is what is the buyer and seller's long-term goals. We take an approach in real estate very much like a financial advisor. Is this a temporary, layover for the buyer to purchase a property to get into the market, or is it something that's going to be the forever home? Or are they going to be waiting till, Johnny or Maria graduate high school and move out of the state? So we really take notice of what our clients' interests are and how can we help assist them. So we put together a tailored plan. We find that giving them the expectations of where the market's at, good, bad, or neutral, is really important. And we find that 75% of all of our business comes from repeat and referral clients because we have that knowledge that we're, most likely we're handling somebody's largest financial purchase.
Absolutely.
And we have to do it with confidence and knowledge
and professionalism.
And professionalism. Yeah. And we find that a lot of agents, are still, making cookies at open houses instead of really educating them on, what does it cost to purchase a home in today's market? What are the benefits? I mean, look at the last 2 years. If you bought a home in today's market, it's pretty tremendous.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we talked about that about, what is it, 18% appreciation last year.
Yeah.
Probably similar the year before.
And to touch on that point, we actually, a lot of people in our industry would say that we're in a seller's market. And a seller's market is when you sell high and there's more demand than there is inventory. And a lot of that is truthful. However, I kind of take a contrarian approach to that and say that we've actually been in a buyer's market. Interest rates have been extremely low over the last 24 months. And to your point of double digit in increase as far as appreciation, we've had buyers that bought in 2020 that have made 35% or greater.
Wow.
I mean, I think that that's a buyer's market when you buy low and you appreciate it. So in real estate, we all know that you don't wait to buy, you buy, then wait.
Ah, okay.
I mean, because think about it. If you bought a home in 2008, which was probably the worst time to buy a property, and you had that home in today's market, it doesn't matter how bad you bought that home. I guarantee you've made money on that property.
Sure.
But if you bought that home in 2008 and sold it in 2010, you lost.
So I think the last time I looked at it, hadn't been a 10-year period in history when real estate had not gone up over a 10-year period. So,
agreed.
And we know for a fact, because we do the research and we've got research teams, that we've got a 5.3% appreciation rate over the last 62 years for Orange County, California. 5.3%. Now, what are your thoughts going forward? What's the next year going to bring? What are you looking at appreciation wise?
Well, we're conservative, but we are bullish on the market. We do think that homes will continue to appreciate. We definitely expect that interest rates will go up. And I bought my first home in 2010 and I paid 5.25%, which I thought for a first time home buyer was an amazing rate. I
don't even want to get in that conversation with you, Shaun. I paid 18.
Okay. Well,
18%. I guess that tells you that I'm old and you're not. I know you weren't going to say that part.
Well, trust me, I'm getting ready to celebrate my 43rd birthday, so I'm feeling that.
Okay.
Feeling it. But no, I mean, we just haven't seen interest rates touch 4. I mean, the last time that they got up close to 5 was 2018. And the market was a little bit different then. I mean,
Sure.
there wasn't as high a demand. We really feel that millennials are really pushing the market because they're in a position to buy. Inventory is going to stay historically low. We don't see that changing, but we do see interest rates going up. So kind of to your point of, inflation is that you can afford less if interest rates go up.
It's a massive number, and we're going to have that demonstration. I think we've just about got it finished. So by the end of this week, if you go and check any of our social channels, we've put together a demonstration. It's the past, present, and future of real estate. And it's going to be fascinating because I saw it already. But we're just putting the finishing. The team is making it look good, which they can't make the announcer look good, but the product can look good. Right? Past, present, and future. Shaun, you'll love this one. So it shows a piece of real estate, hypothetical, that if somebody bought it January of 21, $500,000 property.
Yeah.
By January of 22, it's a $590,000 property.
Right.
January of 23, we project it'll be a $650,000 property.
Yeah.
And the property, the payments go from $2,700 to $4,300.
Yeah. And I mean, just talking about in Orange County, I mean, those numbers almost don't exist anymore. I mean, you're talking 2-bedroom condos to get into that $500,000-$600,000 range. Whereas 10 years ago, you could find many single family detached homes, but that's impossible.
Yeah, that's a challenge. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. More with Shaun Radcliffe when we come back. We are going to also chat. More people are planning to buy a home soon. What's that going to do for inventory? What is the credit limit? How is it determined? And what credit cards offer the highest limits? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property. It is custom tailored to your address, nobody else's. And it's an email we're going to send you once a month, compliments of your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. More people are planning to buy a home soon, while some homeowners may be tempted to hold off until spring to list their houses. You should know home buyers are not waiting. Demand is high today as more people are trying to beat rising mortgage rates. As a result, eager buyers are entering the market or moving their plans up so they can make their purchases as soon as possible. The most recent consumer confidence survey finds that as of those surveyed, the percentage of people planning to buy over the next 6 months has increased substantially since last fall. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our social channels, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart right now of more people planning to buy a home soon. The percentage of consumers planning to buy a home in the next 6 months, wow, that chart looks like stair steps going up. The number of consumers fast-tracking their plans to purchase a home has crept up over the past 3 months. That indicates many buyers are evaluating their strategy and realizing they should act sooner rather than later. And for homeowners planning to sell, it's a signal that now may be the time to list. While more people are moving their plans up, others are actively putting theirs in motion. Time in the market is a great indication that home buyers are motivated and moving quickly. According to a Realtor.com report, the average home sold faster this January than any January on record. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, notes, quote, homes sold at a record fast January pace, suggesting that buyers are more active than usual for this time of year. Home buyers are rethinking their strategies and moving their plans forward. Others are making their moves today. That means demand for your house isn't just increasing, it's high right now. And because there are so few homes available, better take action. You don't want to miss out. Bottom line, give us a call if you want to put a game plan together. We'll put you in touch with a great real estate professional like Shaun and his team. Call us at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit RSR Home Digest. Get your report today. Continue our conversation this morning. Shaun Radcliffe, Radcliffe and Associates is with us, and we're chatting about real estate. And before we went live, Shaun, you were talking about the concept of the fear of missing out.
Yeah, I mean, just to what you were just talking about is that in the Orange County market, as we speak today, there's 1,278 homes available for sale. And that's anywhere going to be between your single family condo to your $50 million Crystal Cove property.
That's nothing.
There's nothing. Yeah. I mean, the market is consuming 2,375 homes that are closed in the next 30 to 60 days. So we have less than half a month in inventory. So in 92886 and 92887, Yorba Linda, where our office is at, there's 25 properties for sale.
25 properties.
Yeah.
Now, for those of us that are simple folk,
Mm-hmm.
give me just a guess approximately in a traditional February, what would there normally be in that area?
We would expect somewhere about 120 homes to be on the market.
And there's
25.
So about 20%, 80% haircut.
Exactly.
Wow.
And we're looking at it is that the median home price from December to January jumped up. So in December, your median home was 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. This is a Yorba Linda stat at $1,175,000. Got you about 2,300 square feet on a 9,000 square foot lot. That same home in January, so the close, looking back, was $1,229,000. So just in that 1 month, we saw that much appreciation.
Wow, that's spectacular. Now here's the question I'll throw at you, because I know that you're in the planning world more.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big difference. So there's realtors that are transactional, and nothing against transactional. It's not my cup of tea, but there's realtors that are transactional, and then there's the group that wants to be part of your advisory board for life. Big difference between the two. Nothing wrong with either one. I think you like the latter.
Correct. Yeah. Well, I mean, we want to work with people that like and trust us, and we want to be part of that journey because, like we said, is that it's the largest financial obligation that most of our consumers do.
Now, let me ask you this, because I've been evangelizing on the program for the last year or so, that especially for young people, right? And almost everybody's young compared to me, but that's a different story. Right? If you're a first-time buyer, and we know the first-time buyers most get into the market at 32, buy that first house, especially if they did this last year. Now, I suggest do a cash-out refinance, keep that property, and buy another one and rent out the first one.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly how you create wealth and how you become, you get it as somebody to take your property, and how you become a landlord, and they're paying that mortgage or maybe even making cash flow. And then you go and buy another property and most likely upgrade.
Absolutely. Think about this. So by the time you're 45 or 50, you've probably got 5 to 7 properties because
Correct.
You've moved that many times. And it's kind of a job, right? I mean, it's nobody says that it's fun to move.
Right.
Right. So it's a job, but it's a job that's going to pay better than any other.
Well, you also think about it is that your personal home, I mean, it does create wealth, but it's kind of captured until you sell it or refinance and cash out. That's really where you gain the wealth. And so having that ability to be own the home and be in it, you get a different interest rate than if you were to get a second home loan or if you
Right.
get a investment property.
Now, a lot of people are what they're doing is they're buying second homes. Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah. I mean, has it come out to where they've changed the loan practices on second homes yet?
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, it's actually technically it starts April 1st, but the
Okay.
lenders have all implemented it because it's based on what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac buy April 1st.
Right.
So it's
So
not
those are
closing.
already in motion.
Right. So those are all in motion already. So they're charging more for it. And there was that fear of missing out. So that did help those people that wanted to buy a second home.
And that goal was to create more opportunities for first-time home buyers. That's why they did that?
Well, you never really understand why the federal government does some of the things they do, because they put that big bump on that. Then they put a big California tax on it. They don't call it a California tax, but it's a California tax. So there's a big price adjustment for high balance loans.
Right.
Even on primary. So, where else is that going to be? California, New York, some of the higher priced markets. So they put that tax on us. They don't call it a tax on California. But the bottom line is you really want to be doing is you need to be looking right now. If you're thinking about buying a house,
right?
So what is it? Maybe I don't know if you track this, Shaun. How long is the average person that you're working with? How long does it take them from the time they make a decision to come and have a consultation with you till you actually find them a home and get them into a home with the way this market is?
Yeah, so we actually do it fairly quick because we do a lot of the heavy lifting up front. So making sure that they're pre-approved and fully underwritten. We also make a good job of just managing expectations, letting them know what the appraisal contingency, the inspection, the loan, what's happening in today's market, so that when we make an offer and we get back a seller multiple counteroffer, which is 95% of the time, those expectations, they know that. So anywhere between 30 to 60 days, I would say, from the time that we do an initial consultation, that we are opening escrow and or knee deep in escrow.
That's faster than the average. That's way faster.
I agree.
Yeah. So a lot of people aren't. Now, Shaun made a comment there because of the multiple counter offers. There is a contingency that you need to be aware of, that in many instances right now, because of the way appraisals must be done, maybe the properties aren't appraising, right? So maybe you're going in above the appraised value. Don't forget about the appraisal gap program, rsrappraisalgap.com, rsrappraisalgap.com. So we've got a plan for that. So you have to just understand that so what Shaun's just said is they're telling you right up front, this could happen.
Correct.
Right. So you've got that expectation is preset.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time that we actually saw a transaction with an appraisal contingency in place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, or an appraisal gap, like you spoke about, like where, buyer agrees to pay $25,000 over the appraised value, not to exceed X.
Sure. And that makes a whole lot of sense because you need to have some sort of a program and an agent that understands this marketplace that's going to actually tell you how you're going to get that offer accepted. When you give that multiple offer, I just saw one the other day that they said that they had the first weekend 300 in Brea, I think it was 300 families came through and 75 offers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when you have a city that had 10, I think there was 10 active homes for sale in Brea.
Right.
And I think
what was the price point?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
One. But it wasn't cheap. I mean, it wasn't a first time property.
Right.
But you have, hundreds of people coming through on the first weekend. You know that the price is going to get bid up, right?
Of course.
That's what's going to happen because the seller wants to get the maximum amount. The buyer is going to pay because they want to get the property. You have to understand, okay, as Shaun said, you're going to put in there, okay, we're going to pay X amount over appraisal because otherwise you're not going to get the win.
Yeah.
You're not going to win that the contract. How are you going to finance it? So you have to have that part of the program in place also. Maybe you don't have enough cash. rsrappraisalgap.com will give you that solution where you don't have to have all the cash to cover the appraisal gap. Boy, and the other one I saw, Shaun, last week, I noticed Anaheim Hills area, 92807-808.
Yeah. 6
homes for sale.
Wow.
6.
Yeah, that's
right?
nothing.
I mean, what are you gonna buy? So you have to go out there and do you guys have a strategy for finding a home? If I came to you and I said, Shaun, I want a house in this neighborhood.
Yeah. So we have a couple different ways. I mean, we have a database of 8,500 people, and a lot of, like I said, is our past clients. We know when their time is up of when they're wanting to sell. So we might have a buyer that fits that seller's needs, and we are able to transact off market.
So explain that a little bit. What is an off-market transaction?
Yeah, so that would be where the seller decides not to put the home on the market and works directly, possibly with just one agent, negotiating between the buyer and the seller.
So do they have to do open houses and get the museum ready for everybody to trape through?
There's no open houses, there's no pictures, there's no sign in the front yard. It's just an off-market property. It's somebody that, what we find is, has built a considerable amount of equity in the property, finds the value in privacy, and gets a fair number and decides that, hey, this is the way that we want to transact, because maybe it allows them to go on to the next part of their life, or the buyer gives them certain terms, like staying in the property for X amount of days after the close of escrow, and that works conveniently for the seller's needs.
Great concept there. Now you have to work with your lender with that part as well, because you want to make sure that you're following the guidelines. Correct. There, right? Because you have to move in within 60 days if you're going to be a primary residence. But that's all understanding what the game is ahead of time, understanding the rules of the game. That's why you have to work with people that are experienced, that understand this, that are not, that they didn't go to get their real estate license last week and now they're out there trying to take care of $1 million of your family's net worth. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Josh, I think we're going to throw out our Your Credit Matters segment. We'll do that next week, just so Shaun and I continue talking. You can find out more about Shaun Radcliffe and his team. We'll have that information on in fact, we have that running across the bottom of the screen right now. You can reach me anytime, and I can put you in touch with them at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It's wrong. They all are wrong. My opinion. I know 60 Minutes said 20% of them are wrong. I've been looking at credit reports for the better part of 4 decades, and I have yet to see one that's correct. I've got a client that's 93 years old with an 834 FICO score. 850 is perfect. And there were about a half a dozen errors on his report. What makes you think yours is right? That's the Your Credit Matters segment. We'll put the story that we'll share that story if you want it, and we'll get it next week. Continuing our conversation this morning, Shaun Radcliffe and Associates in the house with us. So we were talking before the break about off-market properties, and Shaun, you made a comment in there that really hits home because it's not something that's very common. So when you're dealing with a real estate professional, any kind of a professional, and they do their initial consultations and they understand what your family's short and long-term goals are, you say to them, you know something, Johnny and Sally are done with high school in 2022. We think we're going to sell then and maybe move to the desert. We're going to go to the beach, or we're going to go to find something that's a smaller property. I bet you've got that in a database somewhere.
Correct. Yeah. And that's part of our initial buyer consultation is what lifestyle is our client looking for? And we get that information and we track it, because we want to make sure that as markets go up and down, that we're continuing to educate our clients. I mean, 2020 was a great example of that, is that when COVID hit, all of our sellers were freaked out and all the buyers thought the market was going to drop by 50%. And that just wasn't the case. And so managing expectations and being that educated voice in the marketplace, we find allows us to work with a lot of clients and to continue to grow our sphere, because we find that people want confidence. They want to know what the market's doing, and they look to us as the real estate professional.
Yeah, and you need to understand that. And you know, something 2020, March of 2020, that was a big time of fear.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were just the average financial person or professional, and I used to have my license at Merrill Lynch, so I understand these things. You have to manage fear, you know, because anybody that is the younger people, and we have some of the younger people come on our broadcast with us, and it fascinated me when I did one of our millennial shows that the only recession millennials really knew was 2008,
right?
Because that's what they lived through. And real estate took a big dump in 2008. It was the cause of the recession.
That's right. It was a real estate cause.
It was a real estate cause. But they don't realize the fact that very few recessions have a negative impact on real estate. In fact, real estate goes up most of the time.
That's correct. Yeah.
And we're going to show you a slide. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our socials, we've got a slide on the screen right now of recessions going back to 1980. Thanks for grabbing that so quick, Josh. That shows real recessions going back to 1980. The last recession in 2008, yes, it was real estate. But prior to that, the biggest downdraft in real estate values was 1.9%. And that was the only one that went down.
Wow.
Right? Before that, it was 6.1% up, 3.5 up, 6.6 up.
Right. Well, I mean, in during times of inflation, I mean, you got to buy real assets. Right. So that's, I mean, I think that real estate will continue to thrive. And, you know, the definition of a recession is the gross domestic product recesses for 2 consecutive quarters.
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't
And
see
it's coming.
Agreed. But I don't think it's going to affect real estate negatively.
Right. Real estate will continue going up. We'll have a recession next year, if not sooner. And it's built in. And I'll tell you why it's built in. The government's forcing it. Here's the issue. Last year and the year before, the government put an extra $5 trillion of spending into the marketplace. The government spends $4 trillion on a regular basis. They added $5 trillion each year. Now, either they spend an extra $5 trillion next year, or the GDP is going to drop by that amount, right? And that's about a third of well, it was a third. Now it's about a quarter of our total GDP. So it's got to have a recession.
It's going to, yeah.
So the question is what are you doing about that? Are you making a call to a real estate professional that can help you, you know, to navigate that? Because can we use a round number here and say
Sure.
that property goes up 10% this coming year?
Okay.
Right. So property goes up 10%. Now, what do you see, Shaun? Because this will be a number that will help us here. The average person, what are you seeing people putting as a down payment?
I would say about 10%.
About 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes my math so nice and easy. I love it when that's that case. Now, I know that the median home price for Orange County, now Shaun told us it's over $1 million in Yorba Linda. Orange County, $950,000. So we're going to call that $1 million just because it's easy math. You put $100,000 down, it appreciates by 10%, not the 100,000. It's the million that appreciates.
Right.
So that goes up $100,000. So now your
1.1
net worth, or you've got 200,000. Your return on capital, I guess,
right,
is 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
And where else are you going to get that?
Where else are you going to get that?
On a real piece of property that you're living in, you have a roof over your head.
You can feel it, touch it, see it, smell
Exactly.
it. Well, you shouldn't smell it, but all of those things, right? Unless it's roses that you've got planted out front.
Hey, I've been in some bad smelling homes. The smell is important.
Smells it, exactly. But think about that concept just of now, if inflation hits and you got 7.5% inflation, are you getting that in the bank? I don't think so.
No.
Are you going to get that in the stock market?
Not what numbers we're seeing today.
Maybe, right? We don't know what the stock market's going to do, but here's the issue. If you have $100,000 in the stock market, it's not going to double in the next year,
No.
right? Because most of the time you don't get that kind. Well, I don't know anybody that gets that kind of leverage in any other financial instrument other than real estate.
Correct.
Right. I mean, if you go into the stock market and you go on margin, they'll give you 50%. If you're buying municipal bonds, they'll give you a little bit more than that, but you're not getting any return on it.
Yeah. Some of our elected officials do pretty good in the stock market.
Yeah.
I read an article on that. So
that's true. That's true. I think there's a fund out now that you can actually just buy what they buy. Because now when I was at Merrill Lynch, we had something called front running. Right. So you couldn't go and buy something and then call your clients and tell them to buy too. That was illegal. If you had inside information, well, Martha Stewart they thought it was going to be that, but it was actually just because of lying to the government. They can lie to us, but we can't lie to them. I don't know how that works. But supposedly she had inside information. I'm going to give you inside information right now. Buy real estate. Right. I think that's fair.
Absolutely.
Insight, right. I mean, over the next 10 years, it's going to go up. How much is it going to go up? I don't know. But I can tell you this, over the last 62 years, it's 5.3% in Orange County. Over the last 10 years, 5.56%. And some smart people are saying over the next 5 years, they can count on about 39.66 cumulative.
Wow.
And that's smart people. I'm just reporting.
Well, and I think that if you're talking about the owner occupied, I mean, also, what does that do for your lifestyle? I mean, where does that change and make your foundation? Because look at where rents are going.
Right.
I mean, rents are up 40% and they're continuing just to go up. I mean, I think you can only go up 5% plus whatever the CPI is. And then you said that was 7.5%.
Yeah. So, and people are starting to do that by default right now.
Right.
Right. They want to do that just because they say, well, here's the issue. I know next year I'm going to be limited, so I might as well take advantage of that now.
Right.
So if you're thinking about real estate, maybe that's why the article I gave you in the real-time real estate segment said people are moving that forward. And we had an article last week. I think we shared that one, that more people want to shop for a house than for a spouse. I don't know about that stuff, right? It's I'm 34 years into a life sentence, so I don't know about that stuff. It's been a while. So you're out there, Shaun. You're talking to people.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's just affordability. I mean, interest rates are up over 1% from last year. Right. So you can afford less. So last year, if you were in the market and you maybe made an offer, you went to an open house and you thought about buying a home and you didn't, you're buying less of a home and paying more for it.
Isn't that special? Get less of a home and pay more for it. So I get, instead of that 16-ounce ribeye, I get 12 ounces of ground chuck.
Right. More expensive.
More money. Right? So that's the concept right there, right? That's the way the real estate, that's the way everything is going. That's the definition of inflation. Right? Well, the definition, I know the technical side of it. It's too much money chasing too few goods. That's the technical definition. Reality is that you're not going to get what you used to get, but that doesn't matter. Here's the issue, and that's why we've done this whole presentation on past, present, and future of real estate, is because what was available 1 year ago is irrelevant. You're not going to go out there, and I can tell you right now that as of February 10th, or actually February 11th, 2021, interest rates were 2.73% according to Freddie Mac, and you had to pay 0.7 of a point to get it. That is not available today. You're not going to get it anywhere. No matter what the magic signs are saying and what the ads on the radio are saying, it's not there. You're not going to get it. But you could get, as of last week, it's not this week even 3.69%. Right? And then we said the Mortgage Bankers Association said 4.07% after that report came out. We're going to get another report tomorrow. Real estate's the same way.
Yeah.
The property that you bought for $1 million last year in Yorba Belinda is $1.1 million today, or $1.2 million.
Absolutely. Well, like I said earlier, you buy and then wait.
Right.
You don't wait to buy.
Yeah, you're in trouble. If you wait, you're going to be waiting a long time. And we know a lot of people, I'm sure you've run across this, that said, something, for one reason or another, I'm going to move out of California or move out of Orange County into the Inland Empire, desert, whatever. And they want to come back to Orange County and they're priced out.
Exactly.
They're done. They can't do that. or they're going to get a shack somewhere, in the middle of, well, I don't know where it's.
Well, I'd rather have that 10% appreciation on $1 million than on 500,000.
Absolutely. Yeah, it works a lot better that way.
Yeah.
It's great information. If you want more information, if you want to meet Shaun Radcliffe and his team, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. And again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.